To be fair, I think I may be the wrong manager to answer that question. I believe that we have the lowest budget of all clubs in the league. So if another club get more money than us, so be it. The only thing I would say, because I think it will always be like that as long as we have a competition that is like this competition in Europe and not like in USA where they are doing it differently. That some clubs have more money than other clubs, so that difference will always be there. I just hope that this financial fair play is a big thing that actually getting to be, how can you say, executed and looked after. I think that's important. The rest, I think, I think all the clubs more or less. Maybe I'm not updated well enough, but in the Premier League have a owner with quite a amount of money.
With the financial fair play rules, are they actually fair though? Because it seems to be a scenario at the moment where it protects the clubs that generate their own money, whereas if a new owner comes in with money that he's willing to plough into the club, it doesn't necessarily work in their favour, those financial fair play rules.
You can say that. I think that, to be fair, I think there's other people than me that need to think about that. But I think it's definitely something that you need to look into if you want a relatively fair competition.
The other thing that we've seen, and it's been going on in football for a while, a manager's linked with other jobs, and more recently it's been yourself. I just wonder what impact it has on the football club when you see yourself named as a potential new manager for the likes of Arsenal, for the likes of Manchester United. Does it impact the club at all?
I don't think so. First and foremost, I'm in a club that I'm extremely privileged to being at, and I'm happy when I go to job every single day. I have a fantastic relationship with my owner, sports directors, players, staff. We are in a very positive development, and there's still bits we can improve and to reach our full potential. The second thing, as far as I know, the current clubs have some brilliant managers that do a brilliant job. So I don't know where all those rumors are coming from, but I guess it's positive no matter who's putting it out there, journalist or whatever. But I think it's very important for me just to focus on what I'm doing. Try to train the football club, train to win on Saturday.
Do you think the players share that view as well? Because obviously the form that the group is showing as a whole in the Premier League, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that other clubs will be looking at your players when January comes along as well.
Yeah, but I think, rumours is a part of the football business. So if the squad or the team should be influenced every single time there's a rumour about one player leaving the club or potentially get bought by another club or the manager, I think they couldn't do anything that just getting nervous or worried. So I think it's just a natural part of the football world. Right now, as I've said the last couple of years, I can't see any reason why any of our players want to leave or why I should leave. We are in a fantastic, well-run club with still a lot of things to reach out for. So life is good.
So how do you view the season so far? I mean, obviously beating the likes of Arsenal, Wolves, West Ham, drawn with Liverpool. But that all said, is this game against Chelsea potentially the toughest test so far?
You can definitely say that. As far as I know, they won the Champions League last year. I also can look at the table, and I think they're number one. So and they're one of the biggest favorites to win the title this year. So it's going to be a huge task. Quite interesting or funny, whatever you say it. When we won our promotion in the playoff final, they won the Champions League. I think that's a very good picture of the difference between the two clubs. That said, we believe in ourselves. We are here to try to do our very best to be asset to the Premier League. And I think the best way is that we try to be on the front foot and aggressive and forward thinking and attacking. and we will try to do that as much as possible on Saturday. I know that we'll probably defend quite a few times in this game, but the more we can get them running backwards, the better.
I think Andreas Christensen as well, you've highlighted as one of the best in the world in his position. Is that the kind of message, the kind of challenge that you put to your players, is go out and again prove yourselves against one of the best in the world?
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge challenge. I think, it is a team with players, world-class players. I think they also with the transfer of Lukaku to Chelsea, I think their team are more or less complete. They have top quality world-class players in every position. They have one of the best managers in the world in Tuchel. I don't think there is a weak spot. So that challenge, we love that, and we're looking forward to it. And we can't wait to go out there. But in the end, there are only 11 players on the pitch, as far as I know.
So finally, for me then, Thomas, I mean, in many ways, I suppose the season so far couldn't have gone that much better than it has. What kind of a statement would it be if you were to get a result against Chelsea?
Let me answer that question if we do. We'll do our very best to win.
Top man, all the best.
Thank you.
Emma, please. PLP.
Hi, Thomas. You used the phrase a moment ago, life is good. And I think we could hear the enthusiasm in your voice ahead of this weekend. I mean, when you got promoted, this really must have been one of the fixtures you were looking forward to the most, right?
Hi, Emma. Of course. I think just every game in the Premier League is a big game. But of course, to face the European champions and the number one in Premier League is just a huge challenge that you really like to test yourself against. So in that aspect, we can't wait. Got the team together today because with the internationals and very nice atmosphere and people are positive and just looking forward to play on Saturday.
Yeah, you mentioned the atmosphere. I mean, you've had some cracking West London derbies in the Championship, haven't you, with QPR, with Fulham as well. But Chelsea in the Premier League, how will this compare? I think, to be fair, we haven't faced Chelsea that much the recent years. I remember last time we faced them, but that was Stamford Bridge, where we lost, I think it was 4-1, or something like that in the FA Cup. That was not the best experience. Hopefully we can make it better on Saturday. So, of course, it's a derby is always special, and especially now it's a West London derby at home. It's going to be a tough game. It does seem as though at home you have made that advantage count. We could hear it against Liverpool, against Arsenal as well. Do you really feel the crowd can play a big part in this one against Chelsea? Yeah,
there's no doubt that the fans and our fans have been amazing. We need a top performance from them again. They need to be on it. And what I was extremely pleased with against Liverpool was the 2 times we went behind, the noise were maybe actually even higher the next couple of minutes. So it just gave a boost to the lads. So they were, ready to sprint again, to press again, to believe. And I think that's so important. It's so important because no matter who you are, if you're a world-class player from Chelsea or a good Premier League player from Brentford, there's moments in the game where you're a little bit down mentally. And that's where we get help by the fans.
All right, we're really looking forward to it. Best of luck.
Thank you, Emma.
Ian from TalkSport, please.
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
Hi, Ian. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Just one more on the Newcastle takeover. Is it more sporting to achieve what you have the way that you've done it at Brentford rather than just getting a whole load of cash, going out and buying the best players and basically buying success?
I don't think I can say no, can I? Good question. I think, of course, our feeling and how can you say being proud of the performance we did to achieve this promotion to the Premier League is massive. And I think the feeling will be big, no matter if we were clearly the best club with the most money in the Championship. But I think it's that extra. I would say you're even more proud when it's a little bit against the odds in terms of that. You don't have the most money. You're a smaller club. You build it over time. That's definitely, for me, give me a fantastic satisfaction. 100%. I think when you're up there and you are the best teams, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, and these, there are the four teams that stands out a bit more. They just, all of them have much more money. So I think they're very proud when they win the title. But I think that extra, when you can compete against the odds, I think that's maybe a bigger satisfaction.
You mentioned before a sporting director. How important is the role of a sporting director at a football club?
I think it's crucial. I honestly, I think it's crucial because hopefully the sports director, together, of course, with the head coach or the manager and the owner or the key persons, they are hopefully aligned and there's a clear strategy. But the sports director is the one that need to make sure, no matter what happened in the club, because head coaches and managers are coming and going, we know that. So make sure that the current style that you want to play, the style of play, can be the same. Make sure that you are aligned in terms of what players that fits into that style of play, and make sure that the strategy still stay on path and in the right direction. I think he's a key person.
But the sporting director never gets fired. As you just said there, I mean, if Brentford lost 10 in a row, you would be fired, not your sporting director.
You never know. It's me, you know that, Ian. No, you're right. True. It is. That's the way it works. But I still think that he's the key person, because if it's the right sports director, and of course the head coach is the right one, because there can be whatever. The connection is maybe not there with the coach and the players, or the coach and the sports director, or whatever. All that needs to be well in place and well aligned. But if it's the right one, then he will just stick with the coach and make sure, because that's also a skill to do that.
Just two more from me. First of all, how much more confidence is there with you sitting there and your players right now, having beaten Arsenal and drawn with Liverpool? Because I remember ahead of the Liverpool game, you didn't give me the impression that you really thought you had a chance. Now you've beaten Arsenal. Now you've drawn with Liverpool. I know you're still probably second favourites to beat Chelsea, but you've got a chance.
No, I think maybe I how can I say, said it out wrong. I believe that we will get something out of the game of Liverpool. I also believe that we will get something out of the game against Chelsea. I'm just saying that the odds are more towards a win to Chelsea than a win to Brentford. But 100% believe that we can get something out of the game. Hopefully 3 points, and that is what we're playing for. We're not going out there to make a nice performance and we do well and everyone like Brentford. No, we're going out there to try to win, and hopefully we can do that.
Finally, everyone does like Brentford, and they are an asset to the Premier League. They've already shown that this season. I was at West Ham before the international break, and you weren't prepared to just take a draw. You went and scored with the last kick of the game, the winning goal. First of all, does that sum up what you're all about? And secondly, is there anything better in football than winning with the last kick of the game?
Let's take the second thing first. That is the best feeling, to win in the last kick of the game. That's fantastic. Those emotions are just crazy. So that was a fantastic feeling. I think when I think it's a big thing was that we went for it. So then we got that margin that you need sometimes to get that goal. But you can see that we have all 10 players on the final third, because we like to maximize and get something out of it. We didn't want to leave 3 back. No, easy. A point is good. And it's part of us thinking offensive.
Brilliant stuff. Good luck against Chelsea. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you.
Phil, please, BBC London.
Hey Thomas, how you doing?
Hi Phil, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much indeed. Firstly, players returning back from international duty. How is everyone, and how much of your breath did you have to hold whilst waiting to see how players got on?
All came back well of the international players, so that's good. Of course, you always check the lineups and cross your fingers that everyone is coming back in one piece. But they did, so that was very positive.
We know that this stage of the season obviously gets interrupted by international breaks. How do you account for that from a coaching point of view when it comes to planning your season, to structuring your season, but also when it comes to that momentum that you've obviously already built? How do you try and maintain that and make sure that through this hiatus you get back into playing domestic football in the same way?
I think actually in some ways it's nice that we get that break. That's how I see it. And no matter what it is there, I can't do anything about it. So there's no reason to moan too much about it. So the way we do it is that the international go away. The players that are in the club will train for some days and play most likely a game. So we get some of the players who hasn't played that much match exposure. And then from this Monday this week, we are looking forward with the players who are in-house and ready to play. So I just think it's just, how can you say, divide the season into two different spells, and you got a different, how can you say, input players that are going away, and the players that are staying here is maybe get 1 or 2 days off, and then everyone are ready to go again.
Just referring back to that West Ham game as well, I know you have a 24-hour rule for celebration or commiseration, depending on what happens. It's been a lot of celebration so far this season. Because it was an international break, did you give yourself 36 or 48, Thomas?
Did I? Maybe I did. No, of course, it was nice. And the big thing here, I would say, is that when you are, instead of 1 week or 4 days away from the next game, then you had 2 weeks. So the feeling lasted a bit longer. I would say maybe not celebrating, but lasted a bit longer because was straight into the next game, preparing, hamster wheel focused. So that was nice.
Couple more, just in regards to club culture and something that you develop and you're very strong on. Where does Brentford's club culture come from? How many people contribute to where you are as a club with what goes on and off the pitch? And does it all sort of meld into one with what we see on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening?
I think every single one who's involved in Brentford, from the on-field and the off-field staff, contribute to create that culture. And everyone should be aware of it and give something to it every single day. And I think the biggest values of all our values I constantly speak about is togetherness. And I think that comes back down to how you are as a human being. If you're a good person, most likely you want to add and give to your friends or staff members or the workplace you're working at. Plus, we want people that are not only looking at their own task, but also want to think a little bit more of the whole picture. The more of those people you can get in your club, players, staff members, the better you are. But of course, myself and some of the key persons need to drive it every single day in terms of make sure we keep our standards high in everything. What I'm constantly speaking about is hard work, performance, togetherness, and that attitude, confident but humble, and different examples to we maintain it high, because culture is the most important thing I believe in, and you can destroy that in 3-4 weeks.
And just lastly, this is, the first league meeting in TW8 since 1947, but there was that FA Cup meeting. I know it's before your time. It was a famous day, really, a 2-2 draw. 2013. Now to be on the same page when it comes to the Football League, it shows the journey. That was sort of almost near the beginning of this journey that the club's been on. Now that this journey has reached this point. How much further has Brentford got to go, do you think, though, Thomas?
I think we have plenty of things we can develop on the pitch and off the pitch, and that's the beauty of it. So there's constantly a higher ceiling, and especially I would say that we just got promoted, so now we need to make sure that we speak about we want to be an asset to the Premier League, and it's nice and we are pleased that we have done that the first 7 games, but we need to be doing a longer term. So that's definitely the next aim, to do that, constantly develop us as a club and as a team.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck Saturday. See you soon. Take care.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you.
John Lupo next, please. John Lupo.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, Thomas, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, John. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So now that you've had some time over this international break, I'm sure you've had some time to just evaluate how the club has been performing overall in these 7 games. Is there any one thing that may stand out that you feel you've done well? Is there any one thing that stands out that you feel you may need to do better going forward?
I think I like so far our approach so far to every single game, that we managed to try to be brave and positive and try to attack the game. I think it's a very good example the way we did against West Ham, where we actually went on the front foot both in the pressure but also playing forward. Going forward, that's the thing I'm very pleased with. I'm pleased with that we showed that defensive solidness or high level of defending, defend the box, low pressure, middle pressure and high pressure, and being very aggressive forward thinking and pressing. I think that's been a key thing, because we want to achieve anything as a newly promoted team, or actually any team, you need to be able to defend. Look at the difference between Liverpool when they got Alisson and Van Dijk in from the year before to after they got those 2 players in, plus even more focus. They were suddenly the best defensive side in the league, and they won the title. So I think that's maybe 2 of the best things I would say.
We know that Johan scored with the last kick of the game, but do you feel like that goal was sort of a culmination of him coming here? He came here at the start of the year. You've obviously integrated him well into the team. He's gotten used to his surroundings, and you've been able to build up his playing time and then start him and then just scoring that goal. Do you feel like he's sort of been building towards that moment with the way he's been able to integrate himself to the club?
You're speaking about Wizard?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that was he deserves so much praise for being able to be there in that moment and score the goal. And I think actually I didn't praise the actually finishing. I think it's a beautiful connection, and it's not easy to remain calm in that moment and making sure you get a clean connection. And he did that. I think that shows a lot about him as a player, and he just looked sharper and sharper and sharper. As I said, Saturday before the game on Sunday against West Ham, we played some small-sided, and his team won 3-2, and he scored all 3 goals. On the Tuesday, where we played some 11v11, he scored 2 goals. So, and he's more and more fit. He pressed better and better. That's I'm really pleased with his development.
You know that Chelsea are one of not just best teams in the English game, but one of the best teams in the world. What do you think that you'll have to do well in order to get a result against them?
No doubt, with the offensive threat that they possess, we need to be able to defend very well. But I think also we need to be brave. We also need to press high when we can. We also need to want the ball in as many moments as possible in the game. But again, most importantly, we need to be brave. We need to be brave because we're playing against a world-class team. We know that. And they are, on paper, much better than us. but in the end, it's 11 against 11, and the more brave we can be, showing that right mentality, the better chance we have of winning the game.
Just two more for me. First of all, I know that you want to value every team in the Premier League the same. That's the only way you can approach it. But having already beaten Arsenal at home and then having drawn with Liverpool, do you think that there are certain elements you can take from those performances and those games that you can apply when you're facing another so-called big club like Chelsea?
No, definitely. The thing is, we never know what's going to happen on Saturday, of course. But of course, it gives us some confidence that we managed to win against Arsenal and get a draw against Liverpool, and that gives us the confidence that we go out and hopefully put another good performance out there. I'm pretty sure that we put a good performance out there because we are in a very good place. If we're going to win it or draw it or lose it, I don't know right now. I hope that we can win it and we can get the 3 points. But I think that gives us a bigger confidence, the performances and results so far in the season, that there's a chance that we get something out of it.
Finally, on a personal note, Denmark for the World Cup, and they haven't given up a goal. So I don't know if you've had a chance to gauge the reaction at home, but just how, if you have, what is the reaction back to Denmark and how proud are you of the side?
Of course, I'm Danish. I can't run away from that. And I'm also proud of being Danish. So I'm so pleased as a Denmark fan that we managed to qualify for the World Cup. I know, basically all the players and the staff members one way or another, some of them very closely. I'm just so pleased for all of them and for the Danish fans that we managed to do it. It's actually a huge achievement, and especially with the results. I know it's very rare that you go 8 games, you win all 8 games and you don't concede in a qualifier. So that's quite amazing job they've done so far.
Well, thank you very much. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you, John.
Right, so just confirm we're still doing questions for immediate embargo. So